Discussing the Defender series. And so first thing I have written down that I want to talk about is Matt Murdock's powers and how he can feel so much and hear so much.
Hmm.
He has super senses. So my question is, does he have the best sex ever?
Well,
It must be amazing.
probably. Well, I mean, he is the ladies' man on the show. Foggy
Very
always
true, very
wonders
true.
how. Foggy always says, "How do you know, or how do you get all these fine women and stuff?" And he's like, "Well, how would I know?" So
He can sense the curves.
yeah,
Yeah, I thought Foggy and Karen were gonna get together in the first season, but
I did too. Like when they went bar hopping and everything
that
in
kind of just
season
died
one.
out
Yeah, and I mean, I guess you could predict that Matt and Karen would have got together.
based on the comics.
Yeah, but I didn't want it to happen because it kind of seemed too, I guess, cliche
Yeah,
that they would get together. But I mean, if that's the way they wanted to take it,
yeah.
that's fine. I mean, it's a great show. I mean, you can't knock the show.
hmm That and speaking of Foggy, I want to talk the fact that he was a total female dog. I think about episode 8 when he finds out. I've never been more annoyed by his character than then. I like him like all the other times,
Yeah,
but he just gets like, dude, your friend is a superhero,
I know.
and you're gonna get on to him about that.
He's saving people.
It was like he was on his period or something. I don't
I
know.
mean, I mean, I can get why he would be upset at first
Yeah,
because he felt like he was lied to his whole life, and he thought maybe he wasn't blind, and he just did it to take advantage of people. But I mean, after a while, I just was just like, man, get over it, dude. I mean, it is what it is. What are you going to do about it?
because I think you can agree if your friend was like that, you would freak out and be like,
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, that'd be crazy.
You'd be
Especially,
like Paul Rudd and Ant Man. You'd be starstruck.
yeah, especially if he's blind and he can do all this. I
Yeah.
mean, come on, man. That's like crazy.
The and another thing about the first season, the hallway scene, it actually took 6 hours to film that whole scene,
Yeah.
saving that kid. So that the stunt double was actually that tired, so that's how he could barely stand up.
Yeah.
I thought that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I thought so too. That was probably with that one, and I mean season two's
Yeah,
scene,
and
that
up
like their hallway scene
because they went
was a
up.
lot better.
Yeah, they went across the hall and they went down.
Yeah. That was incredible in my opinion.
Yeah, and speaking of season 2, John Bernthal playing the Punisher, just
Yeah.
quintessential Punisher.
I mean, killed it, man. Killed it.
He
Like,
even said that he distanced himself from his family
yeah.
through filming it just to get more into the role.
hmm I mean, I there was times where I was watching it and I was literally coming out of my seat. How
Yeah,
excited I was, like what, like how great he was in that role. It was just
and like every
amazing.
line and every scene is perfect.
Yeah,
And I think I kind of compare it to the Joker and just like how well he played that character and so much chilling.
yeah,
How
yeah.
well,
That's a like the Heath Ledger Joker. Yeah,
yeah,
I could agree with that.
yeah, and one thing I thought is interesting, Matt Murdock. I know that the Punisher he'll kill,
Yeah.
but Matt won't.
hmm
But Matt is so far on the other side that he would actually rather die before he would kill,
Yeah.
which is crazy to me.
Yeah. I mean, I would like if it was me, I would probably be more on the side of. I mean, I wouldn't be as crazy as the Punisher because
Yeah.
he's just like insane. But I mean, I understand if somebody came up and just murdered your whole family.
Oh yeah.
I would want revenge. You know?
And I have a question for you. Do you think? Karen mentions that he may have a disorder in his brain from when he
Yeah,
got shot, and
yeah.
he's reliving the moments over and over and over. She suggested that. Do you think he actually is?
Um, I he may, but I don't think he is. I just think that event, I mean, for anybody, I mean, if you didn't have anything wrong with you beginning with, if you didn't get shot in the head or whatever,
You still think about it all the time.
yeah, I
Yeah.
would still, I mean, it would take a lot for me to get over that, you know what I'm saying? And to not want to seek revenge.
Yeah, for sure. And in Fisk, I was really glad to see him back
Yeah.
in the second season. And
Hmm.
I think he's one of the best Marvel villains. And a point I want to make is I think the reason why um, the villains um,
In the movies.
in the movies just aren't as good as people would say is because they just don't get enough time to develop. And in the show,
Yeah.
you get so much more time. You get hours of time. You can get whole
Hmm.
episodes. Um,
It's like with the Netflix shows, you're
mhm,
pretty much getting a 13-hour movie
mhm.
because they're releasing all the episodes there at once. You can watch them whenever. It's a 13-hour continuous story, and you can get more developed. You can have like, especially in season one, where Wilson Fisk he had his own episode.
Oh yeah, and he doesn't even show up until like
Yeah,
the third episode, and it's just poetic
yeah,
how he does and how they reveal the character.
hmm,
So great.
exactly.
Um,
Yeah,
I wish like they could do that more in the movies. I feel like Thanos will be a really good villain just because we've seen him already,
yeah,
and
he's,
he
he's
will get 2 movies.
yeah,
Um, he may not, but given recent news, we'll talk about that later. But I think they'll really flesh out that character.
yeah, and he's also been somebody that we've had in the back of our mind since 2012 when
Yeah.
that first post credit scene.
Oh yeah.
So I think we've all, I mean, he had a small role in Guardians,
Hmm.
and then I mean, he may show up in another movie before Infinity War. We don't know, but I think, I think he should, because I mean, if you're going to play up to that type of, I know this is off topic, but play up kind of that your end game
Hmm.
and get to it, and it's just kind of how most of the movies have been, where the villain's just like, no, we beat him. It was too easy.
It's
Well,
just
not
a
too
week
easy.
of Ultron, not an age of Ultron.
Yeah, because I mean, if you're going to build up for that many years, he better bring the hurting. You know what I'm
Oh yeah.
saying? And it better like leave the Avengers more crumbled than they were after Civil War.
Yeah, yeah,
So
for sure. The and I think Daredevil season 1 was really good, and
yeah,
but I think season 2 was even better. And I can look at that from so season 1 subjectively, I'm like, yes, this was awesome.
yeah,
But objectively, season 2 was really, I mean, it got me up on my feet. Like this is awesome.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
kind of the same thing going back to the Avengers, because season two of Daredevil didn't get as like the best reviews. Like the reviews were, I mean, they weren't terrible, but they weren't better than season one. But yeah, same for me. I thought it was a much better season.
Hmm.
I was I was getting up out of my seat at some points. I was like, man, this is awesome.
Yeah.
But like same thing with like the Avengers. To me, Age of Ultron was a better movie,
Hmm.
in my opinion. I mean, a lot of people probably don't agree, but it was just that wow factor in the first one. It was like, hey, all the Avengers, they're all together in one movie.
Yeah.
What the heck? And then like Daredevil is the first Netflix show for Marvel where it's like a show, but with the quality of a movie.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because Netflix just loaded and they make high quality content.
Yeah, it's not like Agents of Shield where they have a limited budget, the CG kind of
Yeah. Yeah.
looks off. Which I mean, you expect that. I mean, you're not expecting movie quality from a network TV show.
Yeah. The I think it's a good point. I think I've said it before. I think um, Age of Ultron. What if it came before Avengers? Maybe that was the
Yeah,
first event. I think it would be just as good. And I think Ultron. It's hard to do that. You can't do the same thing.
yeah,
But if it came first, then that's the thing.
yeah. Like another thing, with like the villains being so, I guess,
Done.
off-putting is
Mm.
because I mean they need. I mean, you can't. mean, it's a superhero movie. The heroes are going to win. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, I mean, you could sort of say Thor is the exception, where Loki is sort of the villain throughout.
Yeah.
But I mean, like with Dark World, it wasn't in a
Yeah.
way, but he still is. But he's like, I mean, you must hear everybody say Loki is like the best villain in the whole
Yeah.
entire.
Because he's been in so many movies.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Netflix, they're knocking it out of the park with villains, especially with Daredevil and Wilson Fisk, because he's. I guess this is the longevity of a villain. You know,
Mhm.
they usually, if they're killed off quick, everybody's like, "Oh, it's a terrible villain. Oh, a terrible villain." And like, sort of with what I've heard is, a lot of people think Zemo is probably one of the best villains with movie wise,
Just
other than Loki, just
we're human.
because he single handedly, I guess he didn't throw a single punch,
Yeah.
and he still brought the Avengers cracked, like as a team, as
Fractured.
people. Yeah,
Yeah. One of the things, yeah, you're right. It's one and done, but and it has to be because
yeah,
like the hero's always going to win in the very end because this isn't a Quentin Tarantino movie where
yeah,
it doesn't have a happy ending and it doesn't make sense. I mean, there's loss
yeah,
overall. And speaking of villains, we'll talk about Kilgrave, and I just think he's just one of the most sinister villains ever. Just
yeah.
because, like, if you just watch it and the things he does, and that's just the power of suggestion is just
Hmm.
a bad power to have. A lot of bad stuff can happen.
Like he could literally do anything he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was watching something the other day. It was like a YouTube video or something, and I was just watching. I think it was the episode where Jessica takes him. It's like, hey, let's use your power for good. And he
Yeah.
takes him to the house where that husband's keeping his family hostage.
If only it was like that.
Yeah, he could just go in there, go like if it was a hostage situation anywhere or whatever, and just say, hey, stop what you're doing, walk out, whatever, turn yourself
Get him
over
on
to
a
police.
microphone. Get him on a
Yeah,
microphone.
yeah. I mean, he like that power is just insane of what he could do.
And one of the things I think it's you just say, thank God he did not have his eyes set higher
Yeah,
his goals because he could rule everything if he.
yeah, yeah. As long as you weren't immune, because I mean, Jessica got immune to
Mm-hmm.
power. I don't. I mean, I can't remember how that happened, but yeah. As long as you're not immune to his power, he could just. I mean, he could walk up to the Avengers and say, "Oh, here, I'll kill yourself."
And if they aren't ready,
Yeah,
if
they
he
could.
does it,
They could just think he's just some regular old dude,
yep,
and he could just walk in there. All right, kill yourselves,
yeah,
and he could just wipe out the Avengers,
mm-hmm.
which
And
is insane.
yeah, and Jessica Jones, I just want to. The thing about her is she has super strength.
Yeah.
She can jump, and a part of that strength is she can jump really high
Mm-hmm.
because she's strong. But I
Yeah.
was wondering, um, can she really even be a defender? What do you think?
A defender, yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
Do you think she'll like unlock more powers as she goes, like flight and?
I think she could because I know that is one of her base powers in the comics is
Mhm.
flight and super strength and things like that. I mean, she can hold her own in a fight.
And I'm sure she's more durable
Yeah, I
uh,
mean, she was
than other people.
because she fought Nuke, and Nuke is going to come back. I'm pretty sure,
Hmm.
and like because he's crazy strong too with
Yeah,
whatever he's taken.
yeah, the pills.
Yeah, and so I mean, she was able to walk away from that.
Yeah,
So I think she'll be able to she can take a beating. She can hold her own in a fight. I mean, she's like me and you were discussing the other day, talking about uh, she might not have particular set of like fighting skills. She
Mhm.
might just be one of those street brawlers. You know what I'm saying?
She's much more street.
Yeah, she doesn't necessarily know any martial arts.
Yeah, but
So.
she's not bad at fighting by any means.
No. I mean, she could throw a punch, and she could.
Like I am a bad fighter. Like I know.
Yeah,
So
but as a defender, because I know the defenders will be more street level.
mhm.
They're not going to be fighting any cosmic aliens or anything like that. Anything like that. I mean, they might.
A bunch of ninjas, and hopefully Daredevil,
Yeah.
Matt Murdock, and Danny Rand, Iron Fist, could train her, teach her some stuff.
Yeah.
Either her or
I could see that happening because, Matt and Danny Rand being both very good at fighting.
sisters.
Yeah, I think they could show her a thing or two.
Oh yeah.
Most definitely.
The
Maybe Luke Cage too, because he's kind of like in the same boat
oh yeah.
with like the street brawl, but he has unbreakable skin. So, I mean, you're not going to be able to shoot him
Yeah.
or stab him with anything.
Oh yeah.
So he'll.
So I think it'll be interesting. Yeah, seeing Luke Cage and what the villain does to combat him, because literally you can't.
Like Naboo,
Knives don't work.
like Naboo and Daredevil, and even though he's dead, he still had those. He had those knife things or whatever they're called, whatever they are. Like that would do nothing against Luke Cage. He would just like deflect that and just grab him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
and the villain in Luke Cage is, I don't know if this is confirmed or not. I know. I'm not sure I'm saying this name, but Mahershala Ali, who plays Remy Danton in House of Cards. He's great in that. He's going to play Cottonmouth.
And there's also, I think it's supposed
Pretty
to be
old villain.
Yeah, and I think there's supposed to be another villain, Diamondback. He's supposed to fight also.
Yeah, I heard that too. So, yeah, I just don't know how to combat him. I think that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, because especially that trailer.
I love the vibe.
That came out for Comic-Con. That was crazy, especially when the guy punched him in the face, and this hand just looks like it just crumbles.
Oh yes,
that was insane.
Yes, I can't wait for that. Yeah, and the Defenders, I think it'll be so we're pretty much sure that the Hand is going to be the villain.
Yeah,
and I think they revive
Elektra
back to life. Maybe not herself.
And maybe she might be a little mind controlled in a way.
Yeah, they might have unlocked something maybe similar to Jean Grey, and they've unlocked the Phoenix.
Yeah, because she was the Black Sky.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure they'll touch upon that in some way.
Yeah, I think so too.
And I'm very curious about Defenders. Is if is Punisher going to be in it? Somehow.
Yeah. I think I've heard rumors of him being there, and I mean he can hang on his own.
Oh yeah.
He shot Matt Murdock in the head.
Yeah.
And he just had really good armor.
Because I mean he's military trained. He knows military fighting styles. He knows weapons, all that. So he knows what he's doing. He's been around the block a few times.
And I think it'd be interesting to see his series, which is happening. I don't know what kind of arc and story they're going to go with. I'm sure he's going to be killing more bad guys, which if that's all it is, I am fine with that.
If it's the same Punisher that we saw in Daredevil season 2,
just a whole series,
just him more screen time, I'm in. That was just an amazing performance, by far.
Well, you got any other topics you want to talk about? Daredevil, Jessica, or Luke Cage?
Something that I like. I just want to know with the Defenders how they're going to come together. You know what I mean? Because I mean they don't know each other. Maybe Jessica and Luke know each other. That's it.
Yeah.
But I just want
to remember Claire.
Yeah, she knows Jessica and Luke, and she knows. Yeah, and she knows Matt. And then also Danny Rand.
knows his Danny Rand's dad knows Jessica Jones' boss.
Yeah.
So Jessica Jones' boss at that firm, the lady who hired
And
him.
also something that, since you just mentioned that I forgot happens at the end of the
Connection.
season 2, is Foggy goes
Yeah.
and works for her.
Yes, he does. So
Yeah. So
even if all that wasn't happening, they all live in the same neighborhood, so then they hear about each other.
yeah.
And Stick is probably looking out for him, not with his eyes, but
Yeah.
with his ears and other senses, to put them together to try to fight the hand. Because he's been
true.
recruiting. He's the guy. He's the Nick Fury of the Defenders, really. I think.
Yeah, that's a good point because especially in that trailer where you hear his voice.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what he says, but it's pretty much him talking the whole time.
You can save this city.
Yeah.
You can save yourselves.
Yeah.
Which for Matt Murdock was true in the seasons. He's had other people save him.
Mm-hmm.
Claire saved him in the first season, plenty of times.
Yep.
And Foggy saved him in the second season.
Yep.
Found him on a rooftop.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously Jessica needs saving. Trish would say that.
Yeah.
I think Luke Cage is fine. He's good.
Yeah. He's not going to get any wounds, obviously. He might get a little rattled or something, but he's not going to have any wounds that would cause bleeding or anything, obviously. And since you said that, what about maybe Hellcat being part of it?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted that too.
Yes, I remember you said that. I think that would be awesome because she's got the skills. If she can get her hands on some more pills, got to get both colors.
Yeah.
But if she could, and I think it'll be really interesting to see what they do with Jessica Jones season 2 when they talk about because they've so hinted at that company and that's how she got her powers.
Yeah.
And she Jessica just has those powers in her all the time.
Yeah.
It's always on that blue and red pill, which is awesome.
Yeah. Exactly. Yep. That should I think that's
all I got.
Yeah, that's pretty much everything I got too.
All right. So we'll see you guys later. Thanks for tuning in.
Yes, sir.